The Niue Constitution Review Committee is making good progress into the process to review the Niue Constitution 1974 and the Niue Constitution Act 1974. The committee was established last year to review 14 parts of the Constitution. We spoke to the chairman of the Constitution Review Committee, Fisa Pihingia, following their meeting at the Whalefono, and he says this is the beginning of the two-phase process to review the Constitution. That is the most important legislation guiding the operations of our country.
We begin with Article 20, and that's the Speaker, which is involved the Speaker. Article 63, the Secretary of Government, and also Article 64. Those are the three, but maybe Article 63 we'll decide later on whether we go ahead with that or not. But we have made some progress because the process of changing the Constitution is very hard. So we are a little behind time, but I believe that I felt that we will be able to come up with a report to the House and a draft bill and a referendum before the end of this year. And also we are calling for public submission to the committee, particularly to those three articles that we have identified and discussed. The submission date will be closed on the 7th of May. So I believe there is enough time for the people to respond.
Why is it necessary to review the Constitution, and are there plans to make changes or amendments to, Niue's sovereignty as well as its relationship with New Zealand?
Well, we're not going as far as the sovereignty issue and the relationship, the special relationship with New Zealand. But certainly there is a need to relook at the Constitution after 38 years. The Constitution was established back in 1974. I believe there is a need to relook at some of the article that needs to look at, particularly the Article 20, which related to the Speaker. People say that there's only 20 members of the House, but it's not 20, it's 21, because in Article 16. The Niue Assembly consists of the Speaker and 20 members. So actually it's 21. So as a saving, we are looking at the possibility of doing away with the Speaker voted from outside, but voted the Speaker from within the 20 member of Assembly. That's one reason why we look at that one.
Honourable Pihingia admits that this is no easy feat, but the committee will work to gain the support needed in the House of Assembly and, if successful, continue on to the referendum to gauge the public's opinion.
Well, it's going to be tough, but it's our duty as the Constitution Review Committee to convince, particularly the member of the House, because the process to change is going to be very difficult. In the first reading, it'll just a simple majority. But the second and third reading, we need to have a 2/3 majority of the members of the House in order to make change, and in order to continue on to the referendum. And that's very important for the people to have their say. So it is going to be tough, but I believe we'll be able to convince the members that there is a need to make change, not only for this year, but we are also looking forward to 2013 to look at the actual membership of the Assembly and other issue that arises from the discussion with the people.
The committee says they are open for public submissions for the first phase of discussions that will close on the 7th of May. Further discussions will be held on Monday evening Radio Sunshine Talkback next week to enable public opinion and discussions with members of the review committee. Today, the Minister of Statistics, Honourable Toke Talangi, released statistical figures for merchandise trade for 2008 to 2011, as well as the travelling residents and visitors of Niue for the March quarter. Niue's major trading partner for many years is New Zealand, with more than 90% of imports from New Zealand. Figures released indicate an increase in both imports and exports. Total imports for 2008, $10,968,000. 2009, $9,361,900. 2010, $10,429,800. For 2011, $14,500,700. Total imports for 2008, $27,000. 2009, $219,500. 2010, $345,600. For 2011, $346,600. In general, diesel, petrol, and jet fuel accounts for more than a quarter of total imports for Niue, followed by certain food items like mainly chicken and corned beef. Other common imports include electrical machinery and equipment and parts thereof of building materials. Niue's major exports from 2009 to 2011 is nonu juice accounted for 68%, taro 7%, honey 18%, other honey extracts 2%, coconut 1%, as well as aluminium waste and scrap and stamps. Vanilla and fish somehow were not featured in these figures. However, Statistic Niue state that they may have been taken privately. As for figures released for travelling residents and visitors for the last quarter, ending in March, show the total arrivals of 1,119, total departures 1,340, with a net migration of minus 221. Of the total arrivals, there were 702 visitors, 274 Niueans, and 429 non-Niueans. As for visitors intending to stay, there were 42 Niueans and non-Niueans, and 417 total returning residents. As for departures, there were 340 total departing residents and 1,000 returning visitors. The average total tourist earning was $606,200 to $307,700 from Niuean visitors and $298,500 from non-Niueans. The cultural mapping project at Whasiau is making gradual progress with the clearing of the old village settlement site in Waihea. The SBC-funded project implemented by Taonga Niue in partnership with the Waihea Village Council is the first of its kind on the island. The aim is to map out and document the cultural heritage site that will enrich Niue's cultural history. However, there has been some confusion and misunderstanding about the project. Taonga Niue Director Moira Inetama says that the mapping exercise is not to title or remove rights from landowners, but more to gauge the size of the area and get a clearer picture of what the village settlement site may have looked like some 70 years ago. Moira says they have had 4 clearing activities, but the work is extensive and finding time is difficult, and they are working with minimal resources. Despite the fact the pilot project site is located within Waihea, Moira says this site is valuable to Niue's cultural history and there should be national input. That is something they're trying to encourage. The hope is that there will be further public input in future developments at the site. An opportunity for one talented Niuean musician, Feau Halatau, to visit his roots has been embraced by the community as Mr. Halatau, who is partially blind, continue his encouragement of music. The famous Nguyen, who rubbed shoulders with the likes of music greats John Rawls, Sir Howard Morrison and Billy T. James, among others, is on the island as part of the Peautangi Hafunua Talangi family reunion, and we caught up with him today to ask how he began his music career and the name of his band, The Radar.
While I was at school, I managed to form a band of blind people, blind musicians only, and we practiced, and we decided to look for a name, and the name came up by one of the members said, when you go on a ship, you're looking through radars, see, and you can't see because it's foggy. So we decided to call ourselves the Radars Band.
Mr. Halatau said he has fond memories of his days in the entertainment industry and has evidence of some of his work.
Being the leader itself, if anything goes wrong, I get the blame. So that song, that trophy, I sung it myself and I arranged all the parts in it. And we only put it in for fun because we had the Maori Pātea Club and the 5 Stars at the time, 3 of us competition, and we were lucky enough to win the trophy instead of them. We played at the Glue Pot. Everywhere you can think of, we played, sometimes 7 nights a week, and sometimes 4 nights a week, and we got plenty of bookings by word of mouth. So the band was going in the competition with Silent Band, and we did very well. We lasted 46 years as the Radars, and we did some CDs, and of course had an award, won that, and you know, the last successful thing we did is the video of Billy T. James' life. My band started him off. That's the honest truth.
Mr. Halatau, who is a humble man, was deterred by an unfortunate accident that caused blindness in one eye and partially blind in the other.
I've been a happy man. Music is my life. I'm hoping to write a book, the history of the Radars, and what we've done. We did a lot. We backed all the top artists in New Zealand.
You're also here on the island as part of a family reunion, and you've brought along some of your children. How important is it for you to, I guess, for your children to understand where they come from, even though they don't live here?
Well, I'm so proud and happy to bring they bring me actually, Warren and Graham. They've been looking after me to make sure I don't go off astray drinking wise, because I'm not a well person. I'm a diabetic, insulin, and those are things I have to keep under control. And I'm so proud to be here in my granddad's reunion at Talangi Peautangi Hafunua, and to meet up some relations I have never met before. And we've got another 2 days, then we head off home. Looking forward to go back home too, as well, but I'll miss here as well. Won't be the last time I'll come back. Maybe I might put on a little band together and come back here and do some entertainment.
In the late 60s, the band released a single on Zodiac called Don't Get Around Much Anymore, The Piper, and followed with 2 or more for Allied International, one in 1967 and the other in 1968, Poor Boy's Dream, When Will I Be Loved, and Heart Hayride. They released 2 more singles in 1983 on the Epic label called The Lucky Old Sun Tahiti Nui and the Banana Boat song Chulu Chululu. We will leave you at the end of the news bulletin with one of these famous numbers. And to end our news bulletin for tonight, the women's kilikiki is about to restart this Saturday after more than 20 years. Chairperson of the women's cricket, Mrs. Bokina Kaufisi, said she is happy and excited about the games, and there are also many positive reports from teams that the women's games are restarting. With 11 teams registered to play, the interest, said Mrs. Kaufisi, is great, and she hopes it will continue for the rest of the season. The one thing the committee wished to advise all the teams to have fun and be considerate of each other, and to wish all the teams the best for Saturday. And that's our news bulletin for tonight. Good evening.